Hey, call me Shape. And today I'm reacting to a video titled Clubs Are Going Broke Since Men Left. Let's get right into it.
The nightlife in Mexico City is literally so weird. They just denied me and my friends. I think it's because I'm missing a tooth, so like maybe they're not trying to f with me. I didn't know it was like this over here, so y'all should have warned me for real. Now we're doing the walk of shame to another bar. Hopefully they don't deny us. And I'm not even trying to sound entitled whatsoever, but it honestly was pretty humiliating because he straight up told us no. And then he said, go try the bar or like the club next door. And then we went and they straight up told us no again. So that was kind of crazy because like, we're just girls trying to have fun. I don't know what happened. The nightlife in Mexico.
Bro, man, do you see where we are right now? This girl is in a Mexico City, Mexico, and they say, no, you can't enter, no entrada, okay, because she's missing a tooth, okay? Now, when you have sin diente, un diente, or when you're missing a teeth in Mexico, even if you're attractive, they're not going for that. Right now, they don't want no busted girls. They're trying to think to themselves, look, we don't want any more reasons for men not to show up, okay? We need the hombres to buy cervezas, okay? I just think it's funny she went to 2 clubs and they both said no. Can you imagine? Anyway, I thought this video was interesting as well. Take a look.
Did you really move to Houston for the job opportunities, or did you move here because you saw the Houston nightlife and you thought you would be a successful bottle girl and never have to work again? Who said that? Who said that? Did you really?
Successful bottle girl that never has to work again? What fantasy are you living in, girl? Anyway, I heard the Houston nightlife I heard it's popping, okay? But it's still not what it used to be, since a lot of men are not even going to clubs anymore. And if you read the comments here, one guy said, moving anywhere for nightlife as an adult is very low vibrational. He hit it on the head. He hit it on the head. Anyway, I thought this video was interesting as well. Take a look.
Can we be so for real for a second? How are men, like, not the prize in relationships? As women, we expect men to approach us first, plan the dates, pay for the dates, drive everybody to the dates, provide, protect, stay loyal to us, keep themselves looking good, keep calm in all of the situations and never freak out, and they have to do all of this without complaining. Because, God forbid they do complain, then all of a sudden they're too emotional. Or, God forbid they don't make 6 figures and all of a sudden they're broke. Or, God forbid they're not taller than you and all of a sudden he's too short. Or, God forbid somebody tries to set boundaries and, oh my God, he's too controlling. And then you're doing all of this while simultaneously yelling at him that he's replaceable and you can have any man that you want. Or you're saying that you don't need a man actually and you can do everything you want by yourself and you don't need anybody to tell you anything. And it doesn't make any sense. Like, at a certain point, we have to stop yelling at men and expecting them to be superheroes and then getting mad at them and criticizing them like fucking dogs whenever they act like a human being. Like, maybe men are the prize and we just need to start appreciating what they bring to the table a little bit more. Can we?
I'm just saying. I mean, need I say more? Okay. Women nowadays, y'all want us to be perfect. Y'all want us to look the part, act the part. And then when you guys act up, y'all want us to relax, be calm, be cool, collective, and be unbothered. Even though you think that we are replaceable and you want us to approach, you want us to pay for the dates. I mean, she said it all. You guys are looking for the perfect man, even though you guys are imperfect. So what that tells me and you is that the man is the prize, because he has to be way better than you, not by a little bit, by a large margin, okay? By a large margin. Anyway, I thought this video was interesting as well. Take a look.
If you're a black man or you know a black man, stop scrolling because I have a really, really important question. So y'all have probably seen there's a big influx in like community groups. There's kickball clubs and running clubs, and I just started a pickleball club. Volume Vibe, pull up. But anyway, there's all these clubs around like building community. But I notice every time I pull up, for the most part, it's like 70% women or more. And so my question for the men, and if you're a woman, you can forward this to a man so he can answer this for me. Why is this happening? Are y'all in y'all like no new friends era? Are we shy? Like what's going on?
So I think what's going on is that men are starting to just like be tired of women shit. You know, honestly, I like pickleball. I didn't know you had a pickleball club. I think she's right here in Brooklyn, New York. You know what? I might pull up. Okay, I might pull up. In fact, if you guys are in New York and you want to pull up with me, DM me on Instagram. We should probably pull up, okay? Because if there's 70% women, hey, that means there's a lot of 90 there. We can have a good time, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to her. Pickleball's mad fun, by the way, anyway. But I think the way men are not showing up is because we're not getting that appreciation. But if y'all going to start appreciating us now, you know, things might change. You know what I'm saying? If we come over there, we get free snacks, you know what I'm saying? You guys show us a good time and there's some baddies there, we might show up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It seems like women having a change of heart, especially in this clip. Take a look.
So I would love to not play games. I would love for things to be easy, but y'all don't like things that are easy. Like, I would really love to show up and be like, hi, I like you. And then they say, oh my gosh, that's great. I like you too. And then I'm like, okay, great. So what do you want to do about that? And then they say, hey, how about we spend some time together? And then I would say something like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, we can spend time together. What day works for you? And then they would tell me what day works for them. I would tell them what day works for me. And then we would go on a date. And then after that date, they would say, hey, did you have a good time? And I would say, yes, I actually really enjoyed myself. And they'd say, I really enjoyed myself too. Do you want to do it again? And then I'd say, absolutely, let's go on another date. And they would say, okay, cool. What day works for you? I would say what day works for me. And then they would say what day works for them. And then we'd find something in the middle of those days, or we would pick a day that works for the both of us the best day. Then we went on that second date. I would say, hey, I had a really great time. Did you enjoy yourself? And they'd say, I really enjoyed myself too. And then they'd say, let's spend some more time together. And I'd say, yeah, I think we should spend more time together. What kind of time were you thinking about? And then they would say, like, I think like once a week. And then we talk on the phone every other day. And I say, that works for me. But I'd actually like to build to more time together, because I would like to spend more time than once a week together. And then they would say, oh, okay, yeah, I can keep that in mind while we're hanging out once a week and we're talking on the phone. And then I'd say, okay. And then they'd say, okay. And then we would talk on the phone every day. And then we would go and spend time together in person once a week. And then after we did that like 4 or 5 times, they would say, hey, you know what? I really enjoy your company. Do you want to spend more time together than once a week? And I'd say, absolutely. And then they would say, how much time works for you? And then I would say about 3 times a week. And we still talk on the phone every day. And they'd say, yeah, that works for me. Then we do that for like a year, right? And then they would come to me and they would say, hey, I've been enjoying spending time with you 3 times a week and talking on the phone every day. Would you enjoy like maybe not doing this with anyone else ever again and only spending time with me? And I'd say, yeah, I'd love to only spend time with you. That sounds amazing. And then they would say, do you think we should tell our friends? And I would say, yeah. And then we would tell all of our friends, and then we would have a big party, and then there would be a DJ, maybe some cake, and announce it to all of our friends and family while I wore a really pretty dress that we will no longer be physically intimate with anyone else, and we will be filing our taxes together until we die. And then all of our friends would be super excited. They'd say, yay, and give us gifts. And then we would spend the rest of our lives together doing what we said we were going to do, hanging out and filing our taxes together. But y'all don't want to do that. So here we are, swiping on it.
So by y'all, you clearly mean women don't want to do that. And you're right, she's about to say swiping on apps. Listen, women are not this robotic. Let's be honest, okay? You're not this robotic. Listen, I know the first girl said we are the prize. I know the second girl wants to know how come we're not coming out to these different clubs, like a pickleball club. The reality of it is women are more difficult than they've ever been, especially in my lifetime. I've seen the change. But even back then, you couldn't tell a girl you liked her. I mean, the quickest way to make a girl miserable is to give her everything that she wants. There's no way in hell you could date a girl once a week and then gradually go into 3 times a week and just have this kind of straightforward communication. No, women like mystery. You guys like games. You guys are the ones that are playing games. Let's tell the truth here, okay? So this is a great fairy tale. I enjoyed it, but it's not realistic, okay? Anyway, this is actually more realistic. Take a look.
Silence and zero engagement is how you win a breakup, okay? When a person who has hurt you, manipulated you, just done you wrong, and you keep engaging with them, they feel like they won. They feel like they can contact you at any time. They can say whatever they want, and you'll always be there to answer or respond, or even cussing them out brings them joy. Saying nothing is how you win. Don't respond to the text. Don't respond to the email. Say nothing. Literally go ghost. Like he did when you was asking him to change. Okay? He ghosted all your emotions and feelings. Do the same to him when he hit you up.
This is what I'm talking about, okay? Listen, to me, unfortunately, dating is about power and who got more power, okay? And she's talking about winning, who's going to win. And the more powerful player always win. So she's pretty much saying the way to win a breakup is to stonewall, play games, ignore the messages, okay? Because that's what works on women. She said that's what he did to you, right? And she felt like the guy won when she's chasing after a guy after a breakup. This is my point that I'm trying to say. Women like emotional turmoil. Why? I don't know. Men were really simple. I could be like the girl in the prior video, like, yeah, hey, we meet up. This is fun. This is great. Healthy relationships are that way. But nowadays, modern relationships are far from healthy. Far from it. They're more like this, okay? They're more like this. They might even be more like this as well. Take a look.
You know the women that haunt men forever? These men never recover, actually. They never do. It's the ones that disappeared. No warning, no speech. They just left, man. They left quiet exit. And listen, when you're chasing him down, right? And you're trying to send him all these texts explaining your worth, he's feeling great about himself. Why wouldn't he be? You're up his... You know what I mean? And he's thinking, well, I still got it. I can do whatever I want. This girl's obsessed with me. She's not going anywhere. My day's going great. But when you stop explaining yourself and you pull that energy back to you, he's going to notice. And you're going to be like, oh, you thought I was going to teach you how to treat me? All right. You're going to see. All of a sudden, his beady little eyes are going to start blinking really quickly and panic's going to set in. And he's going to be like, wait, what happened? I thought we were fine. And that exit of yours is going to haunt him forever. High value women, they leave. They don't teach men how to be treated. That's it. And then he realizes, once it's too late, of course, that they didn't just lose a beautiful woman. They lost energy. They lost happiness. They lost peace, right? And these women know that value doesn't beg to be chosen. It simply gets recognized. So when your standards start meaning more to you than his attention, that's when all his games are going to end. You're probably not even going to want him back by then. Now, if you need reminders on who you are.
Listen, ladies, you could try these games all you want. She's talking about when a man pulls away, don't chase. You could try these games. But guess what? Women have a small window to get things right. And what I mean by get things right is that after that window expires, after it passes, you know what you're in? Menopause, postmenopause, perimenopause. You know what happens in menopause? Yeah, your vaginal lining gets thinner, frail, brittle, okay? It gets dry. It shrinks. That means you're not really ideal for sex. You know men want sex, correct? Okay, so what happens is when you get older and you think you're so high value, respectfully, you're actually less desirable in a sexual marketplace because you really can't have sex. So I'm saying this to say that, listen, when it comes to the waiting game, men, if we wait longer, we're going to have more of the power. You guys can play all this, oh, I'm going to stand away and I'm not going to chase you. That's fine. We have abundance. There's other women. A busload of 18-year-olds or girls turn 18 every day. There's brand new freshmen every year on campus. So to play like, oh, I'm going, I'm not coming back, go ahead. You're going to shrink. You're going to dry up. You're not going to be good for sex. You're going to be having hot flashes. Look, I feel for women in menopause. Okay, man, we don't go through this. I feel for women in this. But you know what that means you have to do? That means you can't play games. You need to lock down a man to be long-term with you so he can accept you when you're going through your condition. Because it's an ugly condition. It really is. And you need as much empathy as you can as possible. You can't play this hardball like you're too good for everybody. You can't play that. Anyway, I thought this video was interesting as well. Take a look. Hey, listen up, Safe Squad. Are you tired of being ignored by women? Well, download my free ebook, Be Attractive and Shut Up. It's going to teach you how to master attraction, build unshakable confidence, and win with women without words. Because chances are you're not ugly. You just talk too damn much. So download my free ebook, Be Attractive and Shut Up, and take control of your dating life right now. Now let's get right back to the content.
So I've been looking at a lot of posts that talk about high value men and what makes a woman deserving of a high value man. You know, like I would like to open up the comments because women know that a man having money doesn't equal high value. Just doesn't. It's funny because y'all listened to Kevin Samuels, but you didn't listen to Kevin Samuels. Like I didn't agree with everything the man said, God rest his soul, or not. But he said a lot of things that stepped on men's toes. a lot of things that stepped on women's toes, but it seems like you guys only clung to the part about the money. Because he called out a lot of shit when it came to men and being high value. He also called out women. Like, honestly, let's have that discussion. Women, why do you think you are deserving of a high value man just because you were in a shitty relationship? We all were. Like, what makes men and women equally valuable?
Nothing makes us equally valuable. And that's what happens in this dating market. People want equality, but equality is not the norm. Inequality is actually the norm. Equality is the exception, if it ever occurs. And it never occurs amongst men and women, all right? What we bring to the table is asymmetrical. There is no symmetry. There is no equality. There's none. Especially if you look at it like this. Women, you have value when you're born, and then when you become a young woman, 18 years old, to about 26, 27, you're in your prime. Past that point, you start to enter your decline. After that, when you get into your late 30s and early 40s, you start to hit perimenopause, then menopause, then postmenopause. And this, by the way, this lady, she's postmenopausal. Okay? Or maybe in perimenopause. I don't know. But she's probably in her 40s. I'm saying that to say that I understand you're smart. I understand you're wise. I get all that. But the sexual marketplace don't care about none of that. Okay? I understand that you want to say, oh man, you're not high value because of your money. You might feel that way, but a lot of things that women want to do cost money. Women want to travel, that costs money. Women want to buy expensive things, that cost money. Women want dinners, dates, excursions, experiences. All these things cost money. If you date a man with money, he can provide that. He can provide that. So as much as you're trying to discount what a high value man is, why don't you really count what it really is for you and men? All right, when you're in your 40s, you're too expensive for men, for the dating market. You want too much, but you offer too little. Women who are in their 40s, they're like a used car that's trying to sell at its original price without an engine. They're like an expensive used car with no engine. It makes no sense. You can't run the way the marketplace needs you to run. You can't. So you have to respect that. Stop trying to argue and debate and fight what's online. You can't shame us out of reality. You can't shame us out of your biology. It won't happen. Respectfully. Listen, I care about what women go through, but it seems like you guys want this war, this back and forth, that you don't need no man, y'all don't need nothing, and y'all can act like, oh, I'm going to keep my legs closed. As time goes on, you're going to be less and less desirable. It's just what it is. So men, we get the last laugh. Y'all might get the first, but we get the last laugh. Anyway, I thought this video was interesting as well. Take a look.
I think a big part of why the girls are being perceived as boring is because a lot of the hobbies that they're showing off and saying that they have are more so signifiers of the socioeconomic status that they want you to think that they have than actual hobbies that they enjoy. And there's a difference there. I don't think it's fair to say that you're boring because you like Pilates, or you're boring because you drink matcha, or you're boring because you like to play tennis or something like that, right? But if you're doing something just because you're seeing that that's what the quote unquote elite classes are doing and you want to kind of position yourself near them, then yeah, you're really, really boring. But if you're doing something because you genuinely enjoy it, let's say you genuinely like matcha, you're genuinely passionate about Pilates as exercise, right? That's a completely different thing. I think a big part.
Most women are not passionate about none of this stuff. You guys want Birkin bags, you want expensive trips, y'all want to look rich to fool people. It's so funny to me. Instead of becoming rich, people rather just, and this is what people want from being rich anyway. They want the validation. Look at me. I'm so uppity. I'm so great. I'm so this, I'm so that. They go around calling people broke when most Americans are broke. Most Americans live lifestyle creep. When they make more money, they spend it. They don't save their money. They don't invest it for a rainy day and have the discipline, the humility, and the patience to become rich. They don't. They don't have the discipline, the humility, or the patience to become fit. They don't. So what do we have? We have people who are out of shape and broke acting like they're rich and they're fit. They're getting BBLs and wearing Birkin bags. That's funny to me. You want me to think that you're rich? Why? You want the validation of rich people? Is that what you want? You want the validation of fit people? Is that what you want? More than you actually want those to actually achieve those things? That's what's wrong with the world. People want to fool you, but they're the real fools. They're the real fools. Anyway, here's another example of this whole wannabe rich thing. Take a look.
He signed a $200 million contract and then offered to split the rent. NBA player Michael Porter Jr. had signed a $200 million contract and offered to split the rent with his girlfriend. He went on a podcast and explained why he offered to split the rent and where his mind was at with all of that, and then asked for advice. His girlfriend was searching for a new apartment and had mentioned that she had found something that she really liked, but it was out of her price range. And so she brought him there, and he said that he really liked it and he wanted her to enjoy where she was living, and he wanted to actually go there and enjoy that apartment as well when he would come over. He admitted to saying that no matter what happened, he would have her back and he would split that rent. No matter if they argued, he was going to help her. So fast forward about 6 months later, and inevitably they do break up, and he's still assisting with paying his half of the rent. He was really emphasizing how much of a man of his word that he is. So in the middle of this interview, the podcaster then asks Michael, if y'all broke up, why don't you just give her your portion of the rent for the rest of the year and then call it a day, go about your business? Do y'all know that this man opened his mouth and said, nah, because she gotta act right for me to pay this rent. He said if she's wilding out, another man can take care of it. He is paying the rent on a month-to-month basis based on how she acts. So at that point, are you really a man of your word if you are dangling?
Stop. We could change our mind. I don't want to hear this whole man of your word shit. A girl could say, oh, we're going to have sex when we get home tonight. You get home, she's like, I changed my mind. We could change our mind too. I'm tired of this whole man of the word. There is no man of the word. If I say something, I say I want to marry you, and then you act up, I no longer want to marry you. I marry you under, I say I want to do something on one pretense, and then you change your mind, then I'm allowed to change my mind. That's it. I'm not even going to explain it. I'm allowed to change my mind. Here's the reality. This girl found an apartment that is above her price range. That means she's living beyond her means. That's the first thing that she did wrong. Second thing she did wrong is that she couldn't even stay in a relationship with a man who's making $200 million in a period of time. Like his contract for $200 million, you couldn't even stay in a relationship with him for longer than 6 months. So you fumbled the bag literally. And the thing that we're saying here is like, oh, well, you should pay it because you said that you're going to. Women say they're going to do stuff that they don't do all the time. You guys want equality? Well, here's the equality. You want equal rights? Well, here's equal lefts. The idea is this. Men, we're allowed to change our minds. You are not entitled to our money. Just because I make $200 million a year doesn't mean that you deserve more from me. Don't go in there expecting, well, you said this, you said that. Hell no. And whatever I say, I can renege what I say and change my mind. I don't care what kind of shame tactics you're trying to use. Oh, you're not a man of your word. Yeah, I'm not a man of my word. I'm going to save this money and let you find another place to live. Or find another schmuck to go pay for it. How about that? Okay? How about that? Anyway, here's a woman who understands what I'm talking about, but in a different way. Take a look.
One good husband will positively change your life forever. One good husband will leave you better than he found you. One good husband will allow God to use him to bless you. One good husband will secure you for today and tomorrow. One good husband will ensure your safety and well-being, even if, God forbid, he's no longer around. One good husband. Now, I've never met a job or any career, at least not in my 20 years that I spent in the workforce before I became a housewife and stay-at-home mom. I have never encountered a job that was securing my future the way that one good husband has for me. These companies have proven to me, personally, time and time again, that they will discard you the minute they feel that they don't need you. They're not worried about your family. They're not worried about your health. They're not worried about your well-being. They don't care if they drive you crazy every single day. They don't care.
And you be worried about your husband. Oh, do you like me? Do you like me? No, it's about service. Your job don't like you, but you do a job for them and they pay you for it. And you know how much they don't give a crap about you, like she's saying. When you're sick, they're not going to be there. When you're ill, your job's not going to be there, baby. This girl, and we're talking about the last video prior to this, this girl was in a relationship with a man that made $200 million a year, and she couldn't even act right for more than 6 months. Even though he was providing for her. She wanted to secure just 6 more months for free. What kind of shit is this? Here's a girl who understands, like, look, I'm going to team up with a guy, And I'm going to make sure I got his back so that he can have my back. That's all we want. That's all we want. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't ask for more than that. If a girl is rocking with you and she's making sure that you're taken care of sexually, emotionally, she's stroking your ego. And I know a lot of women say, oh, why do you need your ego stroked? Some of the best compliments you could ever get as a man is from women. Because they could see you in a way, not only a way that the world can't see you, but they could see you from the eyes of a woman that desires you, which is very, very powerful for your ego. So I'm saying this to say that a lot of people want to go through life acting like they don't need nobody. They got their job. The job's so great. But they don't understand that the minute you get sick or ill, pack your bags, you're out. Your job don't give a damn. But your husband, if you really rock with him, he gonna have your back. And like she said, she can secure your life even after he dies. If he got it like that. Anyway, I thought this video was interesting as well. Take a look.
The reason why I don't believe you bitches when you say you don't know he was married, because married men act very differently from single men. And when I say single, I'm talking even with a girlfriend. Okay? Married men act very differently from single men, as in they're not married. And let me tell you why. Okay? Married men, okay, a man who has decided, I'm going to get married. I'm talking about on average, not every single man, okay? But on average, okay, it's their choice. Okay? Men enter into marriage when they are ready. 98% of the time. Because they're the ones who has to ask you, traditionally, okay? So, when a man asks you to marry him, he's ready to be married. Okay? He said, I'm ready for this part of my life. Okay? And this is the best person to do this part of my life with. Okay? And that means he has said, okay, I'm ready to be married. She checks off this box, this box, this box, this box, this box. She's cool. I can marry this bitch. Okay? When they reach that part of their life, okay, there's a certain level of care that they're being given. Okay? There's a certain attitude they now carry because now they are official. They have a wife of their choosing. They have a wife that they can display to the world that they're proud of, okay? And that their family or their close associates will be proud of, okay? Once they reach that, they're not going to give that up. They're not. It becomes a part of their fucking life. It becomes a part of who they are, okay? So it fucking radiates. I can spot a married man without looking at his fucking ring, okay? I know the men who are married. I can just tell that man is married. That man is.
What she's trying to say is that you girls knew better. You knew he was married, and you still slept with him, and that's the reason why she slept with him, not in spite of it, despite it. Well, and not despite it, in spite of it. That they want you. They're sleeping with married men because a lot of women want to sleep with a man that's in his abundance. They don't want a man that needs them, right? They don't want a needy man. They want a man who's like, I just got head last night. I just fucked the girl last night. I don't need your pussy. That's the man they actually want to get pussy to. It's the way it works. And this is why I tell a lot of men, get in your abundance. Build abundance. Okay? I'm writing a book about it called Triple Your Body Count. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Channel's blowing up. I appreciate you guys. Check out some of my other videos. And I'll see y'all over there.